come on for the walk. Or get your mats, you're going to do some yoga. Chairs, you're going to do some chair exercises. Line up, walking wall to wall. Or just stand up if you're walking in place. Get your weights. If you're going to lift some weights, jump on your bike if you want to do that.
Power on.
Start the treadmill. Thanks for coming on the walk, y'all. Like, comment, share. Yeah, y'all, yeah, Mr. Maestro. Listen, Maestro Ron Jackson is out here in concert. And y'all better catch him. Him and, oh, okay. Maybe I'm not the best advertisement. Just go on the YouTube, Facebook, whatever, put in Ron Jackson. Maestro Guitars. And y'all go ahead and get his tickets, because I tell you. Anyway, let's get this party started right. Or should I say, let's get this party started right. Every day and every night. Oh, they're going to strike me. But when you're already down, and when you're already all so far down, in the YouTube Allegheny Glories, ooh, let me take this off. In the YouTube Allegheny Glories, doesn't matter. That's what I have to ask myself. Yeah, y'all. I was roller skating yesterday afternoon. I want to tell you something. The best time ever. I have to encourage myself. I have to, like, what's wrong with you? You know you ain't gonna fall. You've been skating for a year and a half. And if you do fall, you already fell and you got up. But I guess it's the old lady gene. And the poison that I've been putting in my head. Old people fall and break their hips. I fell 3 times and I fell in the garage 4 times. Because I said I wanted to strengthen the muscles around my bones. I know the bones are going to be weak, but the muscles protecting the bone is what this walk and my roller skating is about. So I have to constantly say, you hit an age, and I started ice skating at 51. If I had continued to live in Greenwich, I would still be in ice skating. It would be of no issue. I roller skated as a child, but I got back on them at 64. So I got the old lady scares. So I got to keep telling myself, you got all the shield and pad on, you already fell, you know you can get up. And then something said, that's why we got to exercise. We have to connect, those neutrons and protons and shit, they got to keep firing off and connecting everything up. Because I have to literally call my feet out. I have to say, feet, push, well, glide, leg, glide. Squeeze your stomach. Shift your weight. Shift. Come on, feet. Move legs. You can do it. You getting there. You going. For 30 minutes. I am the biggest cheerleader of me. And guess what? I get through. And I get better and more comfortable as I go along. And then I jump rope. Let me tell y'all something about jumping rope. Ooh. Again, all we learn on this penal colony about old people is they fall and can't get up. So, some people say, okay, let's go how it's gonna be. But I was like, can I still make my body jump up? And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I wish I had a camera. When I realized that I was on my butt in that garage, my body said, get up. And I looked around, woo woo wee. My leg went out, balance. I was up. I was like, oh, oh. I thought I would have to call somebody. Because they say when you fall down, you can't get up. Bullshit. So when I jumped rope, I'm like, I'm doing something greater than lifting my body off the floor from falling. I am lifting my body off the ground from standing. And I'll be like, yay, energy. Hey, yay, this is what you do. I'd be high-fiving with my energy. And as I jump, and the more I jump, the lighter it seems my body becomes. So that's a whole different experience. Oh, love it. But of course, to get me out the house, that's why I'm training myself. Again, they call it discipline. But when I finish skating, y'all, let me tell you something. My back, go back to the old videos. My back is so aligned. Oh, it feels so good. And my whole body gets happy. Just like after these walks, honey, my body be saying, yeah, another one out the ballpark. I was like, yeah, I love you. I love you. We had this whole thing. So I know y'all think it's good to go and send the senior citizens thing, and I have to hear about how everything you got was passed down from your parents, who stopped my parents from getting anything. To me, that don't seem like a good time. But being in the garage cheering, you know you can do it. You've been here before. Follow your eyes. Your body will follow your eyes. You know it does. Squeeze your stomach. Push your shoulders back. You lean over your skates. It's a whole thing, y'all. Me in the garage. So, I just wanted to let y'all know that. And I put up the jump roping video because, ooh, that's amazing. I'm not worried about getting off the floor because I've fallen and I can't get up. That's not an issue for me. What is an issue for me is letting my energy make my body standing up, get some space between me and the ground below. See, every time I do that, I know if I fall, I'm going to get up. I can get up. My energy can make my body rise. And I take a rope and put it underneath it. So I know I'm off the ground. It may be an inch or two. But I know if I fall down, my ass can get up. My energy knows how to say, whoo. Whoo. Child, I'm just trying to keep them folks from off my body. So, let me go for the topic at hand finally. This thing that... Okay, trying to make my way through. These European white wig cover. When my daughter was younger, we were living in Greenwich. Though it was hard, she got a good education, and I didn't have to take all my money and give it to the designers like I would have if I had stayed in any of the African American communities. Um, Education is not important. It's style. Um, so I wasn't going to do that. I said, find a way to get to a nice. I told y'all about seeing Greenwich High School, etc. So I put my money there, and I noticed that as a teen, she would sit there and she would look at that TV. I said she molded, like the curvature of her butt was in the couch. That's how she sat there. After school, after homework, and then on the weekends. Oh, you don't know, that was driving me crazy. So I said, okay, that's what you want to do. I got the cable turned off, and we got a VCR. I think we probably had it, but that's all we had. And I told y'all, remember, I used to walk 1.5 miles every weekend because there was no Sunday service then, from Barnum to the Greenwich Central Library because that was the only one open. And I would get our videos. So since I was in charge of our listening and viewing pleasure, I got international movies. Shows she had to read. She had to read it, y'all. And then we did a lot of English stuff. I don't know if y'all know Rumpole. He's this character who's a English barrister. Now I'm talking about Britain, where the British Africans are, and where the washed down British Africans rule. That prick in the crown and his bald-headed son. Africans. Okay. So, I used to see they had to Rumpole, every time they went to court, they had to put on these white powdered wigs. I'm like, oh, we don't do this here. I mean, I know it's a penal colony now. We don't do this on this penal colony. And then I spoke about it with people, and they said, oh, no, here it's different. It's about the law. Anyway. Woo. Every time I hear somebody say that just tickles me. Law here was put in place against us, okay? That's the real deal. Anyway, the dark African, the black Africans. Yes, the law's put here against us. Why? Because of our British African cousins, the haters, that still hating. So, I was told that it's not done here, but because it doesn't matter how you dress in the court of law here, but there everything has to be uniformed. And I was like, well, I can agree with that, because that means that basically you're going with the word. Everybody looks the same, the powdered wigs, the black robes. And here, a pretty lawyer can get a murderer off. Listen, here, and I have to be specific, here, a pretty European African lawyer can get her client off, though he is guilty as hell and she don't know shit. Don't matter. Here, on this penal colony, a European African male that's handsome can get their client off. no matter what they did, if the jury finds him to be handsome. So that's how you take that law, throw it over your shoulder. Anyway, so I was like, okay, I can understand the robes and stuff, but why the white wigs? I couldn't understand it. And I'm hauling back and forth. Rumpole had a whole section in the library. And I'm hauling them back and forth. And me and Day are looking at it. And we're learning the English law system. And one is a lawyer that does the court thing. And one is a lawyer that meets with you in the office. Ooh, child. Whew. Kerfuffle. A lot of kerfuffle with these watered down British Africans. Oh. So, it's almost time for our water break. Y'all, I come down in the basement and it's hot. Yesterday I was looking at my video, I was like, girl, you look like you barely making it. Besides being Monday and me not really doing no major exercise besides skating on Saturday, I'd be stiff as heck. But water, y'all. And Maestro Ron Jackson, if y'all in New York City, y'all go to his page, Ron Jackson. I'm trying to tell y'all, guitar music is not devil music. Okay? Our ancestors was playing strings and stuff like that before those evil British Africans threw us on the boat and voila. So you're catching this maestro. This is generation. That's why he masters a 7-string guitar. Y'all go check him out. Ron Jackson. Look him up on Facebook. Look him up on YouTube. Let's get some water. Let me put some music on. These European Africans. I gotta tell y'all, sometimes I be vibing with the ancestors and I be hearing what they saying, but I be saying, listen, y'all got the, I vibe back, vibrations, back. Just so y'all know, cause so I was laughing, vibing to these Ethiopian Africans. I said, looky here, y'all. Looky here, y'all. You all must be proud. Y'all must be proud of ya German Ethiopians, Spanish Ethiopians, all the Ethiopians that went through Europe. You must be proud, because that's what they're doing now. I told them, I said, there's a DNA that everybody has, but specific to Africans. On this penal colony, they don't tell these washed down European Africans when that African gene appears. They don't. That's what I'm saying. Y'all run y'all dumb happy asses to Utah if you want to. So, what they did was, yes, I had a good time. I did. I was laughing at them. Because when I did my research, they was big bad baddies. Them Ethiopians, they was big bad baddies. They came out. They brought their cult Hebrew. They brought their cult Christianity. And they went through Europe. And I said, guess what? Guess what? Guess what they did? They just took the genes specific to you Ethiopians and they labeled it in DNA world as Jew. So anytime, I lost Facebook. I figured that was going to happen. So anytime Ethiopians' blood comes up in this penal colony, they're not Ethiopians. They have renamed the whole thing. I'm going to tell y'all how this happened. We're going to get back to the white root wigs. I was looking at this show. Facebook trying to reconnect. I knew when I said JEWS, I knew that shit was going to go down. Anyway. Oh, it's back. Oh, so now that's what that gene is from Ethiopia. So I'm looking at this show. Told y'all a little about it. Man found floating in, it's called DNA ID. Man found floating in the river. They pull up the body. They found out it's a man. And of course they get dark. The European Africans, they get dark as life leaves or blood leaves them. And they knew that he was from some Central European tribe. So this is the DNA person, expert. And then they had to trace it down further. He came in through New York. Okay. So now I should trace it down further. Because they don't know who it is, because the name he had ain't the name. But they all know when the Central Europeans came in through Ellis Island, they changed their name. And she said, so it wouldn't sound so ethnic. There's a genealogist. Whew. Anyway, they find out that he is a Russian Polish descent. Russian, Polish, and they use the word Jewish, instead of Ethiopian. Instead of African. That's the schools y'all going to? That's what y'all spending all these $30,000 and shit for? You need to take your ass off this penal colony. Because pretty soon, you gonna look at they gonna say, well, he was floating in the ocean, and we found out he came from the British area, and he's of British descent and Christian. They gonna take Christianity and make it a DNA. And that's what y'all paying these student loans for. I don't blame you. I wouldn't pay it. Y'all had to find out afterwards there was bullshit. So, highly intelligent. All these great genealogists. Well, where are they from? Well, they come from the Switzerland area. Oh, and his DNA is uh, 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 what do they call it? Nordic descent, and Christian. They won't say African. Christian. They make it in the DNA. They making coats of DNA. And you think you're getting the best education on this penal colony? This penal colony is all about wiping out the African that all these washed down Europeans have. Are. They're just washed down Africans. That's why the ancestors said follow the hate. Because I'm telling you, Africans hate. And them washed down ones, especially them Germans, British, Russians. Listen, I'm warning y'all again. African countries, when y'all stand close to Russia, I'll tell you what Russia do with all their Africans. All their black Africans. Not the washed down, mixed. They unlife them. That is the biggest Holocaust that they'll never tell you. And after they exterminated all the black Africans out of Russia, they started after the mixed race Russians, which were the Russian African. And they renamed them too. They started calling them gypsies. They say some run into Indian stuff like that because they could clearly pass for it. So African nation, South Africa, see you standing next to that Russian. His history obliterated the black Africans. Don't forget that. And then when they joined Germany to go after the German Ethiopians, Russia was going after them, what they termed gypsies, which was mixed race, like first generation mixed race, like father African, mother European, that first child. They call them gypsies. And if they was light, they was real dark, they just exterminated them. So African nations, when you stand next to Russia, I even had a thought, the ancestors sent me alive. They said, look how fast those Ukrainians was throwing them Africans off the plane. We missed the whole message. What if they said to Russia, we're not Africans. We're not Africans. See, we pushed those Africans off the plane. And Russia's saying, yes, you are. Because we know. Because we are too. Ain't that some shit? Please. Woo, do not necessitate. Get me on the first thing smoking a gun. Oh, so the white wigs in England. Sometimes I really got to take the conversation back. The white wigs. I know now that it was to cover up their hair so you could not see the Africans. Now, let me tell you how these European Africans do with covering up. You know, because I ain't got no African race in me. Now, over the years, you know, we saw the milk baths of the elite European kingdoms. And of course, we know they were European Africans. So, until they could lighten up the race, they had to do a lot to lighten up their own skin. So they did the milk baths. Like I said, go to the museum this time and start looking at those autographs and saying, oh, hell, I can see the African all in that one. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So, they tried to... Maybe I can get back to the wigs if I get this out. African Americans, or is it called Black Africans? How can a race that makes it its whole purpose to destroy the African that is in them possibly heal you when you are the image of the African that is inside of them? They are trying to cut out that African that's inside of them. So when you take your happy ass and sit it in front of them, they ain't gonna heal you. Now, if you in an accident and you got body parts and stuff like that, they will put you back together because that's a challenge, that's an experiment, that's something they can brag about. But not the healing part. No intentions of. None. Because they're trying to get rid of that African that is in them. And when they look at you, you are the image of that African that is in them. So no, they don't want to hear you. They don't want you around. They don't want to see you. So there's so many things here to heal us Africans. I use it all the time. Once a year. And also exercising. Okay, now I can get back to the wig thing. Now I can get back to the wig thing. The reason why they put the wigs on is the same reason why these European tribal people, these German Ethiopians, shave their hair off and make their women put on wigs. It's the same way the English court system does it. Because if they didn't have the wigs, a lot of them would show up looking like Bob Ross with the afro. And you see, they are trying to eliminate the African from everything. I can't even tell you. The whole mission. You look at all these African Americans they have unlifed on this penal colony, and it's all for them to say, well, ain't got no African in me. I don't like them. I don't want them near me. I don't want them by no house. They ain't get no big food. They can't start no business. And then the final thing is to unlife us. All in the name of saying, we ain't got no African in us. Newsflash, dumb asses. All are African. So that's what the wigs are for. Because it would purge you. Because remember, they're not Africans. They hate Africans. You know, they European Africans, because you're Africans in there. But if they didn't wear those wigs, some would show up in an afro. Some would show up with curls. If they had to have their hair cut, some would have waves and stuff. All would connect them to the African that's inside of them, and they don't want that because their law, which was at the African law, you remember the Africans came out of Africa into Europe, it was their laws, and they were saying they're not in charge no more. Matter of fact, they don't even exist. We sent them all on the boat and put them on penal colonies all over the place. So you don't exist anymore. So in order not to prejudice anything and to let everybody know that the watered down European Africans are in charge and we're the white wigs. Got it? Whew. Do not necessitate. Do not necessitate. Do not call Chris from Lester Guy's funeral parlor. Tell him he got a package he got to come pick up, get it ready, and put it on the first thing smoking the Donna. And that's me. No. I asked to know the truth. I'm glad they waited till I was closer to the exit of life and not at the entrance of life, because at the entrance it would have been too much for me to carry. I just had the questions. I'm glad the answers didn't come until I'm standing next to the exit, because it's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. My grandfather couldn't get a farm. He was a sharecropper. He couldn't get a farm. Why? Because, you see, if they had let him get a farm, then the watered down European Africans would be accused of showing favoritism to the African. They ain't gonna do that. So they said, not only we ain't gonna give you the farm, we gonna unlife you too. We're gonna make you so poor. And then we said, see, we're the watered down European Africans. We control everything. And how? Look how we make them black Africans jump through all them hoops. DNR, y'all. DNR, honey. Whew. DNR. So I was telling the Ethiopian, I said, "You're proud? You're proud? Your descendants, your watered down European descendants, guess what? If they see an orca in the water, they want to shoot it down. Not for the blubber, not for anything like that. For the fact that he got black on the outside of his skin." This is life on this penal colony, and just life in general with these watered down European Africans. Y'all go look at those pictures. Y'all looking at them going, oh, they white. No, they're Africans. Go back and look. Squeeze your gut. Tuck in your elbow. I want to tell y'all something about these weights and stuff. It makes your grip tighter. And they said old lady grip. I got the best old lady grip. Squeeze your gut. But I don't drop glasses, trays, none of that stuff like that. And my shoulders are good. All right. Squeeze your gut, tuck in your elbow, neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 for good luck. Yeah. And then my daughter will come to Ghana and she'll visit me, and I'll say, you may not be able to live in the African American communities on this penal colony, because them patty rollers is always going to drop them guns and drugs at them so they can kill themselves off. Whoo, child. But my daughter will say, you know what? Let me go see my mother. And then as she travels off this penal colony garden to see my remains, to sit with me, because I know my energy be there. All the family energy. I'm taking every energy that want to latch on, come on, in the family. And we'll go to God. And she'll come and she'll visit. And then more, she needs the company of the black African instead of the bullshit of these watered down European Africans. She can come right over. See how my plan works? And then my energy will be right there. Whew. Squeeze your gut. Tuck in your elbow. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 Yeah, y'all, yeah. Ooh. Anywho. Um, I got over 1,000 videos. This Friday and Monday, I'm going to be working on my Kwanzaa set. And then getting ready for the set that comes after Kwanzaa. So I got to lay out the set that comes after Kwanzaa, and then I put up the Kwanzaa set. Oh yeah. Let me tell you a quick thing. This is what I was vibing with those Ethiopian ancestors too. I was, you big bad baddies. Let me tell you what your Christian sect does. You remember that Christian sect Ethiopians? Because remember, there's that Christian sect. They call it definitely a cult. Because anyway, they done took y'all Black Madonna, who was mother and loving, and for the babies and for the women, they done made her into a wash down, a washed down European African whore who sleeps in the bed with her husband, and then a guard comes in, opens her legs, and places a baby. but, but, he's a god. So it's okay if she's sleeping with a god next to her husband. And when I was a teenager and a child, I was like, well, that makes sense. It's not a man, it's a god. But then I find out these low down, low life, watered down European Africans, they call themselves the god. So I'm out. I'm out of it. I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid no more. But I was telling the Ethiopian Africans, that's you. That's what y'all did. Proud? Everything you put in place. No washed down, low life, no count European Africans have destroyed. And what they couldn't destroy, they say it's theirs. Yo, chew on that. Whew. Thank y'all for coming on the walk. Like and comment. You can share. I mean, if you feel like it. But just like encourage people to exercise. Because that's what I'm doing. When I look at the videos, I'm like, why don't you straighten out this shit? And I'm like, listen, I'm walking. Okay. Like, comment, share. Like, comment, tell everybody. And they can find us at Just Your Pace. And tell everybody about my podcast that's now going to be just like a radio show called The Pond Moves First. It's not a podcast anymore because I don't know how to upload it to the podcast streaming services. So, have a fantastic day. And I'll see you tomorrow.